trial. They had maintained their client's innocence this entire time. And so here we are now, about a month before this trial was supposed to start, and we have learned that instead of a trial, there will be a plea deal.
He felt like he could commit the perfect crime. And of course it didn't work because those eyes are the eyes of darkness. Here's the best way to not get caught. Don't look like Bryan Kohberger. That's a great way to not get caught. Hey y'all, it's your girl J9 Eve. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, share the video, get into the comments or whatever, and let me know what's going on, okay? So Bryan Kohberger, this thing right here, whom just looked guilty. It's been like 2 years of his attorney saying he ain't guilty. Y'all got the wrong guy. Y'all just, blaming it on him because him looked like the killer. And now just suddenly, Bryan's done decided he's gonna plead guilty. Let's hear about it, and then I'm gonna tell you what is so annoying about this, okay?
Tumultuous. There has been filing after filing and pushback from the defense, initially trying to delay the trial. They had maintained their client's innocence this entire time. They wanted to have the death penalty taken off the table. They tried many times unsuccessfully for that to happen. In the meantime, this has been under a gag order. So people involved in this case have not been able to speak out about it, which is why so much of this case has been shrouded in secrecy. We thought that it was going to go to trial in Moscow, and then it got moved down to Boise, and then it got pushed back yet again.
And because it was it's shrouded in mystery. So there's all these people talking about all these theories, and they think it's this person, and they think it's, what if it's this, and what if it's that, when really they got a shit ton of fucking evidence. They know for damn sure it's him, but the only thing working in his favor, really, as far as the public is concerned, is that the public don't fucking know. But in reality, they know. And this is how you know they know. This is how you know it's too obvious that he fucking did it. Because now he pleads guilty. When it's finally come time, they done pushed it back and pushed it back and push to 2 years later. And now, right before they're ready to do their trial, now he want to plead guilty. He don't want to get the death penalty. They need to cook him anyway. I'm just saying. They need to tell him they ain't gonna cook him, but cook him. That's what they need to do. This is ridiculous.
And so here we are now, about a month before this trial was supposed to start, and we have learned that instead of a trial, there will be a plea deal.
And Kenna, do we know that in this plea deal, was there anything that was taken off the table? Was the death penalty taken off the table?
The death penalty is taken off the table. So exactly, in exchange for pleading guilty, the death penalty will be taken off the table.
Of course it's taken off. Why else would he? Look at this smirk. He's looking at this. He's looking at his own attorney like, you know what, I'd like to slow roast you. This is the look. Look at this. And he did it. The good news is that he'll have to, I don't know if it'll be the truth. It'll have to be close enough to the truth that they can believe it. Because if not, they can throw it out. But he's going to have to say, for him to plead guilty, he has to say what happened. That's always on the table of, when you plead guilty, you have to say what you did, how you did it, the whole thing. You got to tell the whole story. And if you lie, even an inkling in it, they can throw it out. And then they can cook you. And then they will have gotten at least some of the story and still got to cook you, Bryan. Okay? They're going to cook you. Oh my God. I want to know why he did it. It's like these little college kids. It was like 4 of them.
It's a pretty standard cut and dry plea deal. There weren't very many concessions, which you have to imagine there may have been families out there that wanted concessions like that.
Well, and the other thing is, because we just saw your interview earlier today with the friends of some of these victims. I don't know if you've had a chance to speak with them since this news, but for our viewers, how are they hoping to remember their best friends?
It's so important, after speaking with Emily Allant and Hunter Johnson, the two that were the first to arrive at that King Road home, that The world remember their friends for how they lived their lives and not for their last day, not for how they died.
You know, they say that the reason why he did it, they say like a part of it is like he had like this thing where basically where he felt like he could, it's like commit the perfect crime. Like you do this is how you get away with committing this crime or whatever. Like I think he would teach that. And of course it didn't fucking work because those fucking eyes are the eyes of darkness. Like, look, like here's the best way to not get caught. Don't look like Bryan Kohberger. That's a great way to not get caught. If you can walk around looking like Bryan Kohberger, I don't think alibis are going to help you, honey. You just look like the guy who done it. Look at him. What is this? What is this? Oh my God, he is the villain.
I had a chance to speak with Ethan Chapin's entire family as well, and their family motto is to live like Ethan. He was a beaming, bright ray of sunshine. All of these kids were really described in that manner, and that's what's the most important here is that we remember these kids, we remember how they lived, and we don't lose sight of the families here. Maybe there's finality here, but they never get to wake up with their kids ever, ever again.
Yeah, that's a great reminder.
Ah, no, that's grandbabies. That's like they didn't even get to get out of college. You know, college is so stressful. You know, they were college kids. They you know, it's like they got to go through this hard part. They're doing this college stuff to then get out and go and go out and be adults in the world. But they don't get to do that because Bryan Kohberger's scary looking ass is out in the streets wanting to try experiments. Okay? Because he thinks that he could get away with some shit. Got caught immediately. Got caught, all that just to get caught immediately. Got caught immediately. Oh my God. They got their entire baby faces. Ugh.
Reminder. I remember in that interview hearing one of the friends talking about how they really kind of rejected this label of the Idaho 4 because you had four individuals who had, you know, different personalities and very much their own identities here. And that's something that we certainly don't want to lose.
That breaking news tonight, Bryan Kohberger has accepted a plea deal in the 2022 killings of 4 University of Idaho students. The terms include multiple life sentences and no death penalty. Thanks for joining us for K2 News at 4. I'm Reich Azaway.
And I'm Deborah Knapp. ABC News has confirmed that plea deal with Kohberger through a letter sent to the victim's family. Now let's get right to Barry Mangold with more on what's next. Barry?
All right. Well, Deb, right. ABC News is reporting that prosecutors said in that letter that Kohberger's defense team approached them last week asking for a plea deal. The letter says prosecutors then met with family members of the victims who were immediately available. And here are the reported terms of that agreement. Okay. Take a look here. Kohberger will plead guilty to all counts. He will be sentenced to 4 consecutive life sentences. That's back to back. He will be sentenced to a maximum penalty of 10 years on the burglary count he's facing. He will also waive his right to appeal. The state will seek restitution for the victims' families as well. This case has been making national news since the day of the murders, November 13th, 2022.
Look at this thing. Where your parents at? Has anybody heard anything about the parents? So I know you's a grown ass man, but where's your parents at? Like I feel like I want to wag my finger at them a little bit too. Like I don't know, it's just something about you. Something about you is making me feel like I want to blame them. I want to blame them a little bit. Like just a little bit. Just a little bit. We were supposed to believe he was innocent, y'all. That's what we were supposed to believe. Did you? No. The first time I saw his face in a courtroom sitting next to his lawyer, I knew it was him. Like I'm looking at his face. I'm looking at his eyes in particular. And I know it's him. I can see all the souls in there. You can see every single one of these souls in there.
Letter that Kohberger's defense team approached them last week asking for a plea deal. The letter says prosecutors then met with family members of the victims who were immediately available. And here are the reported terms of that agreement. Take a look here. Kohberger will plead guilty to all counts.
Yes, every single count. Look at these eyes. Now you're going to tell me that any part of you and your soul and your whatever's would believe that these are the eyes of an innocent man. This boy, when he was 2, he did it. He did it when he was 2. You know, they say, oh, babies are innocent. No, not Bryan. Not Bryan. The Bryan baby, when Bryan was a baby, he was guilty. Okay, this is how guilty his eyes look. He came out of the womb plotting. Okay, if his mother survived when he was born, he was disappointed. This is the look in this man's eyes. Okay, evil always was here. Evil was always in here. It didn't climb in one day. You know, no, he just was always evil.
He will be sentenced to 4 consecutive life sentences. That's back to back.
Yeah, back to back. Yeah, back to back. And may a Bubba be around every corner. Okay? Hey, Bryan, them eyes is gonna look extra traumatized. Sneaking up on people when they sleeping in the dark and feel safe so they don't automatically panic. You know what I'm saying? And whoop your ass like that's what you used to. Okay? When they gonna walk right up on you. Okay? When you get settled in your prison, may the prisoners forget how to spell mercy. Like maybe they be like, what's that? I heard that name before, Mercy. I don't know her though.
He will be sentenced to a maximum penalty of 10 years on the burglary count he's facing. He will also waive his right to appeal.
And that's great because then he don't get to peek his weird eyes back out later talking about, and this wasn't fair and that wasn't fair and I want to retrial. No, that's just it for you. You did bad. You did bad, Bryan. Bryan, you failed. Hey, Bryan, you failed. Okay. His mission was to see the perfect crime. I hope anybody who was taking his advice on how to commit the perfect crime has seen this. Okay? Because clearly Bryan don't know what the fuck he talking about. He got picked up immediately. They didn't have to pick up another suspect. It was just Bryan. They saw him and said, you over there, come here. You did it. You did it. It was you. I can smell it on you.
The state will seek restitution for the victims' families as well. This case has been making national news since the day of the murders, November 13th, 2022. 30-year-old Kohberger is accused of killing Ethan Chapin.
Bastard, he's 30 years old. Killing college kids. You as a grown, oh my God. All because he couldn't get a girlfriend. You just know that's what it was. You know that's what it was. He go in there and get all these girls. I think I don't think he knew that boy was in there. He was going in there to get them girls. But it was a boy in there too. Oh my God. 30-year-old. Oh my God. I just made myself mad.
Zaina Kernodle, Madison Mogan, and Kaylee Goncalves at their rental home in Moscow, Idaho. He was arrested at his parents' Pennsylvania home weeks afterwards. And before today, prosecutors had been seeking the death penalty for Kohberger. His trial had been scheduled to start in August, and now his next hearing is scheduled for Wednesday, where he is expected to change his not guilty plea. His sentencing is expected for late July. Barry Mangold, K2 News.
Okay, Barry.
Yeah, they did a bang up job grabbing his ass too. They were on the case. Like the police over there, they was on it. They was doing the police work that we see on TV, on the TV shows. They was doing that type of police work. Like they wasn't playing around. They was doing the police work that make you want to be a police officer. They make you want to be a detective. Not a police officer, but a detective. Awe-inspiring work. You know, how do you know? Because they only got one suspect, and it was the guy. And the footage of them pulling him over, and he got his dad in the car. Crazy eyes. I know the police is looking at him like, sir, who did you just murder? I don't even know of anything that happened, but you look exactly like you just killed somebody. Where have you been all day? Like, I feel like we need to retrace your steps. We're going to find some people who are no longer with us. That's how crazy Bryan Kohberger looked. Okay. But we were supposed to believe that this man was innocent. We were supposed to believe that. You know, at his parents' house, you know they had to have dug up. You dig up the backyard, you're gonna find a bunch of cats, dogs, possums, turtles. You're gonna find everything just dug up. Just dig them up. He probably been at it his whole life since he was 2. He been knocking birds over the head. This is just his eyes. It's what they look like. Okay, I'm just saying, but he done pled guilty after all this 2 years of chaos, driving the parents crazy. And then he just decides to plead guilty just to save his own life. Just to save his own life. Oh God, I don't want him to kill me. Let me plead. I'll plead. I'll take a deal. And you know that he did it. Like, this is the thing. It's like, oh, well, what if he's just pleading guilty? He plead because he doesn't think he can win, but he really didn't do it, and blah 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 blah. Except for the deal he's taking is him never seeing the light of day. So there is no upside. There's no upside for him taking this deal, which means he absolutely is the guy. He definitely is the guy. Not that I had any doubts in the first place, because look at him. It's the eye. It's all in the eyes. Bryan. So I guess that's the end of that chapter. And apparently they have they made a movie. It's on Amazon, I think, Prime, about the thing that happened, what he did with the kids. And it's called, I think it's called A Night in Idaho. I might have to, I don't know. No, I don't think I want to look at that though, because it's pretty sad. Y'all behave, because I'm not going to do it. Absolutely not. Especially not when there's Bryan Kohbergers hanging around, lurking about, talking about I ain't do it. Oh my God. The nerve of you, sir. The nerve. The audaciousness of it all, okay? Mama love you. Yes, she do. Ooh. Not you, Bryan. Peace.